Hello there, Rokeby. I'm really looking forward to sharing this book with you. I've read this book many times with Mrs. James and very often don't get through it without crying, though I'm going to try and do that today. This is the preface, written by Michael Morpurgo in 1996, and I'm going to read this to you before we start reading each chapter of the story. The butterfly lion grew from several magical roots. The memories of a small boy who tried to run away from school a long time ago. A book about a pride of white lions discovered by Chris McBride. A chance meeting in a lift with Virginia Mckenna, actress and champion of lions and all creatures born free. A true story of a soldier of the First World War who rescued some circus animals in France from certain death. And the sighting from a train of a white horse carved out on a chalky hillside near Westbury in Wiltshire. To Chris McBride, to Virginia Mckenna, and to Gina Pollinger, many thanks. And to you, the reader, enjoy it. I wonder if by the end of the story you can figure out who the boy that ran away from school all those years ago was. If you enjoy this story, and you have a little spare time, you can look up Virginia Mckenna and the Born Free Foundation. She is an actress who played the part of a lady called Joy Adams, and Joy and her husband rescued a lion cub called Elsa. There was a film made about it called Born Free. It's completely true. There are some excerpts from the film on YouTube, and there is also some filming that David Attenborough made with the family and Elsa the lion cub, which is in black and white, but it is really, really lovely to watch. So you might want to pop that into YouTube at the end of the story if you've enjoyed it and see what else you can find out. Okay, Mrs. James is going to begin by reading chapter 1.
Hi everyone, it's Mrs. James. I'm just here to read another story for you today. There have been lots of short stories and picture books that we think the younger children have been really enjoying, but we've decided to do a few longer books as well, which we're going to read in chapters to you. So I'm going to read one of my favourite books, which is Michael Morpurgo's The Butterfly Lion. I'm going to read it to you from my Kindle today because I haven't got a paper copy at home. And Mrs. Pick is going to read some of the chapters as well. When I used to teach Year 6 a few years ago now, and Mrs. Pick was my TA, we used to love this book, so I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. So this is Michael Morpurgo's The Butterfly Lion, chapter 1. Chapter 1 is called Chilblains and Semolina Pudding. Butterflies live only short lives. They flower and flutter for just a few glorious weeks and then they die. To see them, you have to be in the right place at the right time, and that's how it was when I saw the butterfly lion. I happened to be in just the right place at just the right time. I didn't dream him. I didn't dream any of it. I saw him, blue and shimmering in the sun, one afternoon in June when I was young. A long time ago, but I don't forget. I mustn't forget. I promised them I wouldn't. I was 10 and away at boarding school in deepest Wiltshire. I was far from home and I didn't want to be. It was a diet of Latin and stew and rugby and detentions and cross-country runs and chilblains and marks and squeaky beds and semolina pudding. And then there was Basher Beaumont, who terrorised and tormented me so that I lived every waking moment of my life in dread of him. I'd often thought of running away, but only ever once plucked up the courage to do it. I was homesick after a letter from my mother. Basher Beaumont had cornered me in the bedroom and smeared black shoe polish in my hair. I'd done badly in a spelling test and Mr. Carter had stood me in the corner with a book on my head all through the lesson. His favourite torture. I was more miserable than I had ever been before. I picked at the plaster in the wall and determined there and then that I would try and run away. I took off the next Sunday afternoon. With any luck, I wouldn't be missed until supper, and by that time I'd be home and free. I climbed the fence at the bottom of the school park behind the trees where I couldn't be seen. Then I ran for it. I ran as if bloodhounds were after me, not stopping till I was through Innocent's Breach and out onto the road beyond. I had my escape all planned. I'd walk to the station, it was only 5 miles or so, and catch the train to London. Then I'd take the underground home. I'd just walk in and tell them I was never ever going back. There wasn't much traffic, but all the same I turned up the collar of my raincoat so that no one could catch a glimpse of my uniform. It was beginning to rain though, now, those heavy, hard drops that mean there's more of the same on the way. I crossed the road and ran along the wide grass verge under the shelter of the trees. Beyond the grass verge was a high brick wall, much of it covered in ivy. It stretched away into the distance, continuous as far as the eye could see, except for a massive arched gateway at the bend of the road. A great stone lion bestrode the gateway. As I came closer, I could see he was roaring in the rain, his lip curled, his teeth bared. I stopped and stared at him for a moment. That was when I heard a car slowing down behind me. I did not think twice. I pushed open the iron gate, darted through and flattened myself behind the stone pillar. I watched the car until it disappeared round the bend. To be caught would mean a caning, 4 strokes, maybe 6 across the back of my knees. Worse, I would be back at school, back to detentions, and back to Basher Beaumont. To go along the road was dangerous, too dangerous. I will try to cut across country to the station. It will be longer that way, but far safer. That's chapter 1 of The Butterfly Line. Mrs. Pick will be reading you chapter 2, and I'll be back again for chapter 3. Take care. Bye.